Welcome to the AI for Career Success video overview by Curt Robbins, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Today, we are digging into a really critical strategic move in the AI race. This is all based on analysis and reporting that came out around December 22, 2025, from places like Reuters and key industry experts. And what we're talking about is a multi-billion-dollar bet Alphabet just made, a bet that has surprisingly little to do with AI algorithms and everything to do with what actually powers them.
So let's just start with this quote, because honestly, it gets right to the heart of the matter. We're looking at something that is so much more than just your typical tech acquisition. It really forces you to step back and ask, what is the real, most valuable asset in the race for AI dominance?
Okay, so here's the number. On Monday, Alphabet dropped this bombshell, a deal worth $4.75 billion. And to be clear, that's cash, plus they're taking on existing debt. This isn't just a small purchase, we're talking about one of the largest deals the company has ever made.
And who was the target of this massive investment? A company called Intersect Power, which is a developer of clean energy. Now, this is the key takeaway. This move really signals a brand new phase in how AI is being developed. The focus is shifting, you see, away from just silicon and chips to the power grid itself.
So this brings up a really fundamental question, right? Why is a tech giant like Alphabet suddenly getting into the energy business? Well, the most obvious answer has to do with the just immense and frankly insatiable appetite for energy that modern AI systems have.
On the surface, this just looks like a straightforward supply and demand problem. I mean, generative AI's need for electricity is just soaring. At the same time, the U.S. power grids, well, they're already struggling to keep pace with our current needs, let alone the absolute tidal wave of demand that AI is about to create. The big tech companies are waking up to a harsh reality. You simply can't build the future on a power grid that's fundamentally stuck in the past.
But is that the whole story? If we just stop right there, we're actually missing the real strategic genius of this move. You have to look past the headlines to really grasp the core constraint. The one thing that is going to define who wins and who loses in AI over the next decade.
You know, for the last few years, the entire conversation in the industry, and in the media for that matter, has been about one thing: computing power. It's all been GPUs, 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 and the supply of advanced chips. But what the sharpest analysts are pointing out now is that the real bottleneck, the true choke point, isn't silicon at all. It's the electrical grid.
And you don't have to take my word for it. The CEO of Intersect Power, the very company Alphabet just bought, a man named Sheldon Kimber, he said it as plainly as possible. He said, power is the bottleneck. The ability to actually generate and deliver that power is the true limiting factor on how fast AI can grow.
So then, how does buying Intersect Power actually solve this fundamental problem? See, the real brilliance here isn't just that they bought a bunch of solar farms. The answer is in Intersect's very unique and incredibly strategic business model. It's about a lot more than just generating electricity.
The key concept here is something they're calling lockstep development. Now, what does that mean? It means Intersect doesn't just go out and build a power plant. No, they develop an entire ecosystem. They build a new dedicated power source right alongside a new data center, and then, this is the critical part, they bring them both online at the exact same time in perfect sync.
So what this integrated model does is allow Alphabet to completely sidestep the problems of the public grid. They don't have to worry about an overloaded system because, in effect, they're building their own private, reliable, and totally scalable power infrastructure right there, on-site, exactly where their data centers need it the most.
And look, this isn't just some theory on a whiteboard. This strategy is already happening. There's a perfect real-world example under construction right now in Haskell County, Texas. They're building one of these co-located power and data center sites as we speak. In fact, this one project is the key that unlocks Google's much larger $40 billion investment in Texas. It's only possible because they solved the energy problem first.
Which brings us right back to that core idea from the beginning. Think about this quote again. It completely reframes the entire competitive landscape for AI. It's not an exaggeration to say the rules of the game have just fundamentally changed.
So here's the bottom line, the most crucial takeaway. You can go out and order all the chips you want. You can build these massive data center buildings, but none of that infrastructure means anything if you can't actually power it at scale. With this acquisition, Alphabet didn't just buy a power company. What they really bought was the ability to get that power online faster and more reliably than any of their competitors.
So, it seems the AI race isn't just about who has the fastest chips anymore. It's about who controls the power to run them. Alphabet has clearly made its move. The big question now is, who's going to be next? Thank you for watching. This is where we teach you AI and help you get smarter than your competition. To continue learning with us, please subscribe to the AI for Career Success YouTube channel. Liking, commenting, and sharing this overview really helps us reach a wider audience.